Welcome to the Athlete to Athlete series. My name is Curran. I'm a former professional athlete, speaker, leadership coach, and the founder of the Game Changers Foundation. Our mission is to help current and former athletes in sports, business, and life. Each week, we'll be bringing you top former athletes to share tips, tools, and strategies to help you change the game on and off the field. Our series is made possible through our amazing sponsors, the Sports Turf Company. Welcome to the Athlete to Athlete series. I'm your host, Curran, and today we have a special guest who's straight out of Gwinnett County, Peachtree Ridge High School, none other than my guy, Drew Butler. Drew, welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you being on.
Man, Rennie, an honor to be here with you.
Yes, sir.
One of my best buds. We were in the same signing class at Georgia.
Right.
Gwinnett County legend. So I'm always happy to be around you, my man.
Definitely, man. We come a long way, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
it really,
crazy.
really is, bro. So, man, I know we got plenty of memories working out with Ryan Golden, and but tell me about what your high school experience was like. You know, you played with some great players.
Yeah, I really did. You know, I was fortunate enough to go to Peachtree Ridge.
Yeah.
Was the charter class back then. So my freshman year in 2003 was the first year the school was open. And we pulled from Duluth High School, North Gwinnett High School, and Collins Hill High School.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of a mishmash of all these kids from different middle schools. But us, we went to Hull Middle School. We knew that we were going to be a direct feeder into Peachtree Ridge. So it was cool to kind of understand how the school was going to be formed. I was in the meetings of choosing the school colors. What was our mascot going to be?
Wow.
It was really fun to see how those things happen from a Gwinnett County public school standpoint.
Yeah.
And now, you know, we've got kids. It seems like a new high school opens up every single year.
Right.
So it's crazy to kind of look back and see how that happened. And fortunately for us, and I started playing football my 10th grade year, so we can obviously get into that, but we had a great group of kids. Some of them are still playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
And we found some success later on when we all grew up. So really unique high school football experience, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Peachtree Ridge was awesome.
Heck yeah, man. And I know with change, man, it comes different challenges and things that emerge, man. So what was the major challenge that you had to just navigate, man, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, it's a fantastic question. So, like I said, I started playing football my sophomore year of high school.
Wow.
When Peachtree Ridge opened, I believe they played a single A or a 2A schedule. It was a 5A school. You know, now it was 7A, I believe. So that first year, it was a kind of collection of parts, if you will. A lineman was trying to toe bash extra points. They didn't have a kicker. All my buddies were playing on the team, and they were like, Drew, you play soccer. Like, we know you know how you can kick. You've done it with your dad before. My dad played football, so I knew what I was doing in kicking. Yeah. And they convinced me to come out because they were missing extra points and then having to chase 2-point conversions late in the game, and they lost like 2 or 3 games by a small margin of points.
Right.
It's like, yeah, you know what? Like, I'll give it a chance. I'm going to come out for the football team. I told my parents that at the dinner table, and they both almost fell over. I'd never wanted to play football in my life before. I'd only played golf and soccer. So going into my sophomore year, we moved up to a 5A schedule. Now you're talking about North Gwinnett, you're talking about Norcross, you're talking about Collins Hill.
Yeah.
And Rennie, it was 42-0 at halftime. Like, we're getting our teeth kicked in, week out.
Yeah.
Because we're all sophomores. And we're going against Jared Cook at North Gwinnett. He's scoring 3 touchdowns before the first quarter's even over, right?
Right.
They did the air raid offense. I mean, we didn't have enough guys that could even run with these wide receivers. It was like playing on air. So learning curve and biggest challenge would be, and I think it speaks to kind of what's happening in sports in general in this day and age, is that we all stuck together. Like, we took our lumps. You know, we went 1-9 that year. We did beat Duluth High School, our biggest rivals. That was always good. But we stuck together, and we knew that next year, hey, we're going to be a year older. And we knew if we stuck together and then we were seniors, we might have that opportunity to do something special. And we did. So I think it's important to stick together, take your lumps, learning experiences, understand that grit and persistence pay off in the long run. And it certainly did for our high school football experience.
I love it, man. You're so right about just sticking together and making it through those hard times, man. Next question I have for you is, what was that just major play that you made, man, that you can remember where you're just like, wow, I think I got something?
Yeah, you're asking great questions, right?
Yeah, man.
You got a future in this, man. I think our senior year, we went to the state playoffs. We were a 4 seed, and I think the teams in front of us were the usual suspects: Norcross, Collins Hill, North Gwinnett. And we beat Wheeler in round 1. They were a first-ranked team. And then we beat Campbell in the second round. Campbell was one of the best teams I think I've ever seen in high school. It was almost like the situation in Friday Night Lights movie where you see Dallas Carter and you're like, these guys look like they're 30 years old. How are we going to beat them? Made a couple of field goals in that game. Our defense, led by Cameron Hayward, was just so stout. Jeez. And we won that second-round matchup. And we were like, holy cow, we think we got something here. So that was a really cool moment to kind of sit there as seniors and go, we got a chance to actually make a state title run. And then the next week we beat Stevenson at the Cobb County Stadium, which was awesome.
In their stadium, wow.
Yeah, it's just this little, small group. I call it small, but 4-year-old team, Peachtree Ridge, knocking off these big dogs. We won in the Dome. We beat Warner Robins to go to the state championship game. So, I would say you asked for one specific play. It was that state playoff run where we went to the championship game and played Roswell. That was just really special, and we all remember it and still talk about it.
That's amazing, man. Ain't nothing like those memories, bro.
Oh, man. I saw the article about the kid from Texas who is foregoing his senior year to get into Ohio State so he can capitalize on the new name, image, and likeness rules. And I just thought to myself, man, senior year of high school is so awesome. Like, I don't know if I would want to trade that for a couple of bucks. It's just so special, and I think we have a certain, kind of likening to it because we are older now. We're 32, we got kids. Like, I wish I was suiting up playing high school football this Friday. It's the best. So I hope you made the right decision, but I just think about those things kind of with life experience now.
No, you're exactly right, man. It's getting tougher and tougher. I mean, I don't know his financial situation, but that can always come into play. But yeah, you're exactly right. Those memories are priceless. Yeah. Especially as time goes on. The next question I have for you, man, is what was your pregame ritual like? We all have that little special thing that we might do, lay out our jerseys or whatever it is. What was yours?
In high school, and I even carried it into college and into the pros, I always had to put new shoelaces in my cleats.
Oh, that's a lot of work, man.
It's a lot of work, but 60-inch shoelaces, which are really long, I would wrap them underneath. They had to be crisp and white. Yeah. And it was just kind of the moment of having my headphones on and being there with my cleats and kind of blocking everything out. You got to be pretty tedious with it and just know that you got some fresh laces in there to go boot it around. So that was something that I always carried through, fresh laces in those soccer cleats for kicking.
Love it, man. Love it. Who was the top? You played with some amazing athletes throughout your career, man. Who was one of the top athletes you played with or played against?
Yeah, man. Just in high school specifically?
Yeah, it can be high school, pro.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Like, obviously, Tim Tebow when we were at Georgia.
Yeah.
Cam Newton.
Yeah.
These Heisman Trophy winners, these guys who are still playing on Saturdays. One of my favorite, stories to tell is 2011 SEC championship game. We were playing against number 1 ranked LSU. A lot of Georgia fans will remember we were doing pretty well right before halftime.
Yeah.
Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, took the punt back. Of course, I kicked it. I fell on my face. You can watch the replay. But later on in the game, they're kicking our butt. They take Honey Badger out. You know who they put in as the backup punt returner? Odell Beckham Jr. Like an embarrassment of riches. Hey, we're taking Honey Badger out. Odell's coming in. So those types of moments kind of make you think SEC's real big boy stuff. But high school, Cameron Hayward, teammate of mine, we grew up together. He's team captain for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was fortunate enough to play with him in Pittsburgh as well, which was really cool. Played against Jared Cook, who's still playing. I mean, the guy's an absolute stud. So just looking around and going, wow, we played against some guys who are still in the NFL. It's crazy, but it's also a testament to them. They're awesome pros and fantastic athletes.
Definitely, man. So switching gears now, man, you're doing some amazing things. You're one of the guys that have been able to really leverage your platform and do so much more than just be an athlete, man. So what are some of the things that you're doing now for all those athletes who are really trying to get to the next level, who we know are going to one day take that jersey off? What are some of the things you're doing now? And, ultimately, what advice would you give to guys who are thinking about that transition and what they're going to do after the game?
Yeah, fantastic. That is an evergreen question that people are going to have to continue to navigate. And I think it's important because guys like you and I, with that experience, can just try to at least provide some wisdom. Sure. We were teammates at Georgia. I got my degree from the journalism school. I got to say big shout out to my man, Curran, for going back to school and getting his degree.
Yes, sir.
That was awesome. And I love seeing that.
Sheesh.
I know. Believe me, I know. So I was always really interested in sports media and broadcasting. When I was still in the NFL, I had a meeting. This is kind of when I was bouncing around teams, so I was out for a year.
Yeah.
I had a meeting with the broadcasting agent, and I said, hey, I got my degree. I went to school for it. What do you think? He's like, hey, look, one, you're a punter. I said, okay, good point. It's like, 2, you don't have a resume. You need to get a resume. So start doing some stuff.
Yeah.
This is when I was still trying to play in the NFL. So I reached out to Roddy Nabolsi, who's a friend of ours. He's the publisher of UGAsports.com. And I said, hey, I think I'm going to still try to play. I ended up getting signed by the Arizona Cardinals and continuing my career for 4 more years. But I was writing articles for UGAsports.com while I was still in the NFL.
Nice.
I was hosting a syndicated radio show on Monday nights from my office in Arizona that would go out to 30 stations in Georgia. Just, again, building my resume, trying to get reps, Roddy was a big help. I did my own Facebook Live show one season while I was still with the Cardinals. And then when I got done playing, I started up Punt and Pass, which is my podcast with Aaron Murray, our former teammate, SEC all-time leading quarterback at Georgia, because I saw a void in the podcasting world of former athletes, but more so current former athletes. Aaron had just played. I was 5 years out.
Right.
We played in these stadiums, for and against these coaches. You kind of knew the terminology. You knew what to expect on an SEC CBS game at 3:30. So we dove in, and as luck would have it, that was the year Georgia went to the national championship. And we're about to start our 5th season. So that's always been fun. I host a couple of other shows as well. And again, I think that just goes to speak setting yourself up while you're still playing. And entering into the business world, as I know you have done so well. I just got recently named the executive vice president at Icon Source, and I'm running their college division. So we're an on-demand digital marketplace that connects brands with athletes for endorsement deals. And on July 1st of 2021, there was a landmark rule change that allows student athletes to be compensated for their name, image, and likeness. So we allow student athletes to have a platform to streamline that activity, keep it compliant, do it above board, and get paid the right way. So if you're a small business owner and you want to activate a student athlete, go sign up on iconsource.com. It's totally free, and we've got thousands of student athletes on there. So it's been awesome. A lot of talking there. You asked what my advice would be. My advice would be to figure out and try things while you are still playing, right? You do have time. And I know that if you want to be great, you have to dedicate a tremendous amount of time to be Zoom focused and really try to do what you can and leave no stone unturned. But it's a matter of saying yes to a few things. Do it 3 months at a time. You might hate it. Okay, 3 months, on to the next thing. Get that life experience to say, this is something that I can put a lot of effort into. This is something that I think I can kind of replace the drive that I had for football or whatever sport it is, because I think the best example or the best comparison is this. Not a lot of people understand what athletes go through when they do have to hang it up. Okay, people say, well, you're successful, you can speak well, you have connections, go find something to do. It's not that easy. I talked to my brother-in-law, who's an engineer for Microsoft. He lives in Seattle. He went to Georgia Tech. He's brilliant, right? He's been doing computers his entire life. He builds chips for the Xbox, things that go way over my head. So I asked him, I said, Michael, here's a question for you. If you got fired from Microsoft tomorrow and they told you you're fired from Microsoft and you can no longer work in computer science anymore, what would you do? He's like, oh, man, that's a great way to put it. I don't know. It's not like you can go apply at Facebook. You can't go apply at Google, right? You're not going to go to Amazon. You can't work for any of those. What are you going to do, right? It's like, oh, man, he's been working his entire life, went to Georgia Tech, worked for Microsoft. That's kind of what athletes go through. So it's important to figure out what you're passionate about, what you can fill that time with, and set yourself up for success, because, a lot of athletes have what it takes to find success in the business world. So it's a process, but it takes a lot of work, and it can be very lucrative if you do it the right way.
Love it, man. Killed it.
A lot of talking, man. Sorry to just dominate there, but
I
always love being with you, man.
Definitely. Well, we got one more thing for you, for just being a part of the show, for all the knowledge and wisdom you shared, and just for being one of my boys. Had to hook you up with a little gift, man.
Well, thank you so much.
Some headphones, some Java. Enjoy it, man, while you're doing those workouts. I know you're still staying in shape.
I try to. Come on now. I wish I could take some from Rennie and put it on me. But well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Java.
No problem.
Awesome.
Well, we appreciate you being on the show, man.
Yes,
and
sir.
Always here to support you, man.
No doubt. Likewise. Thank you.
Athlete to Athlete, presented by Sports Turf Company and the Game Changers Foundation.